Sometimes when we need to do a unit conversion, there's not just one ratio that will get us from the units that we have, which in this problem is feet, to the units that we need, which in this problem are kilometers. So we would have to use two separate ratios. This is what I would call a two-step dimensional analysis problem. We're going to set it up the exact same way. We're trying to find out how many kilometers, so x kilometers, are equal to 2,700 feet. Remember that in this setup, that 2,700 originally would have been underneath here, been cross-multiplied, and now it's part of a large numerator. So we look at the different conversion factors that we have to choose from, and the first one we have does kilometers to miles, and the second one we have does feet to miles. Notice that there's not one that goes straight from feet to kilometers like we need. Since we have feet in the number that they gave us, when we pick our conversion factor, we pick the one that will let us put feet in the denominator first so that we can cancel those out. That means I'm going to have to put 5,280 feet in the denominator, and the other half of that is 1 mile, which goes up in the numerator. The reason I've done that is because now I have a feet underneath that cancels out a feet in the numerator. So that leaves us with miles as the units, and what we need are kilometers, so I have to use that other conversion factor that they've given us. It's got kilometers and miles. Since I have miles up here in the numerator, I'm going to put all of this information about miles in the denominator. So it'll be 0.62137 miles in the denominator, 1 kilometer in the numerator, and that lets me cancel this with this. The only units we didn't cancel out are kilometers, which is exactly what they asked us for, and that's how we can be sure that when we put this in the calculator, we're going to get the answer we're intending to get. Since both of these are in the denominator, we are really dividing by these. There's so many ways you can put this in the calculator correctly. My favorite way is to do 2,700 times 1 and times 1 if you like. I'll go ahead and show those. Then I would say I need to divide by 5,280, but I'm also dividing by 0.62137. The other option is you could take your 2,700 times 1 if you like, divided by, and then put all of the denominator in parentheses. So it would be 5,280, and then you can say times 0.62137 as long as that entire thing is in parentheses. So we get the calculator, 2,700 times 1 divided by 5,280 divided by 0.62137. Again, we get lots and lots of calculator garbage, so we go back to the problem to see how many significant figures we can have. In the number that they gave us, that's only 2 significant figures. So of all of this, I can only keep 2 significant figures. Leading zeros are not significant figures, so I can keep the 0 point, and that's not part of my sig figs. And then I can keep the 8, and I can keep this first 2, and we just have to decide, is this staying a 2 or is it going up to 3? We look at what's next door. It's less than 5, so that's just going to stay a 2. And our final answer becomes 0.82. We go back up to the problem to see what units are left, and it's kilometers. So this is 0.82 kilometers as our final answer.